these things through the Gaskins teachings, and then once it becomes in effect, then she's looking at him like, oh, he's not a real man. He's just tiptoeing around, and he's not taking authority and leadership and all of that. He's scared to talk to her because she's gonna, utilize all these tactics that Gaskins is teaching. Okay? It conditions women to value emotional comfort over truth. So women are taught to prioritize how they feel above what is right, productive, or necessary for growth in a relationship. Now, this is big. So she's gonna, or whatever you feel, that's the right thing. No, that's not. Sometimes our feelings could be based in ignorance and misunderstandings, and even our own hurts and pains and insecurities. So we have to deal with those hurts, pains, and insecurity, and not expect the other person, for example, this is something, I'm gonna use an example that has nothing to do with relationships. So take a white person who is very racist, right? A black person could come in their room and they feel nervous and clutch their purse and all this. If it's a woman, she clutches her purse and all that, and she feels all these emotions. It's not because that black man did something. It's because the mentality, she has psychological stereotypes in her head, and that's causing these emotions. Now, the same thing, a woman who's gone through hurts, pains, and all this, she could have all these things in her head, and she thinks the man is causing her this distress and all this, not realizing she's not dealing with the insecurities and all the dissatisfactions and everything that's going on in her head. So instead of growing and healing, she's telling the man, oh, well, you have to cater to my emotions and the way I feel. That's like the black man who walks into that room. Oh, he's making her feel nervous. He better tiptoe, or maybe he should step out of the room to make her feel safer. No, maybe she needs to grow and come out of her racist ideologies and beliefs. And it's not the black man's fault. And in the same way, a lot of these hurt women that are coming and have certain emotions, they're blaming the man for those feelings, not realizing that in essence, they have to learn and heal. See, he's not teaching women to heal, because if they heal, they're not going to need his view to view his videos, because they're going to be under, the leadership of their loved husband, and, the man who's courting them, whoever it may be, they're going to be under him. So they're not going to need this guy. So all of a sudden those viewerships will go down. He benefits from having women staying single and confused and thinking they're all in toxic relationships with grown boys. Okay? Next, it teaches women to weaponize access and affection. Attention and intimacy become tools of leverage and control instead of expressions of love and unity, the way that God has intended it. So he's actually taking people away from God's purposeful intent for intimacy. He's using it as a leveraging tool. And that's not what the Most High has created it for. It undermines accountability for women. So much of the responsibility for relationships and success is shifted on